Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Rocky. If you're not new here, hello, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. Today we are talking about teeth and about veneers. The main reasons I'm doing this video is because I think it's really helpful to be transparent about anything you've had done, but also when I was thinking about having this done, I watched a lot of videos to figure out whether it was the right thing to do for me or not. I'll be talking about composite versus porcelain, my personal experience, showing you before and afters, and also showing you some of the process. I guess the first thing is why have it done? For me, it was a bit of a weird thing. I just sort of woke up one day and was like, maybe I'd like to have this done. Why? I don't really know. I've never really had a problem with my teeth whatsoever. It's never something anyone's commented on. I've never felt particularly insecure about my teeth. And so it was odd that I just woke up one day and was like, maybe I'd like to do this. And I wasn't taking it particularly seriously. So I watched lots of videos, as you do when you're interested in something. And then I went along to my dentist and just asked the question, like, would this be possible? What would it cost? Like, what's the verdict on this? And after speaking to him, I went away and had a think, and I thought a lot about porcelain versus composite, because at that point I decided, you know, I've got a little bit of money, which isn't that common for me, and this is something that I can afford to do at the moment, so I'd like to do it. After walking away from the first conversation, my dentist was quite pro porcelain, so I was thinking maybe that is the best choice because I want to do something right, and I'd rather spend a little bit more and have it last so much longer than spend, you know, a lot less and get the cheaper option that I know I'm then going to have to replace much sooner. However, the thing is between porcelain and composite is porcelain, once you've done it, you can't really go back because they shave off the enamel of your teeth. However, with composite, they don't have to do that. It's just stuck on the front. So at any point, I could go to the dentist and say, I don't really want this composite anymore. Can we take it off? And then they can take it off, and I can have my own teeth back. Because it was quite a new idea for me, it wasn't something that I'd wanted for years and years and years. I thought, I don't want to make a decision on something that I can't reverse. And I also really like, you know, having the option that I can go back to my own teeth. Also with composite, you don't have to have any pain relief. It's literally just stuck on your tooth, and it's just a lot less invasive, a lot less permanent. But there are drawbacks. So with porcelain, it doesn't stain, it's just gonna stay how it looks. Whereas composite does stain, and it stains quite badly depending on how you care for it and how you eat and what your lifestyle's like. But I knew that that wouldn't be a big problem for me because in general, I don't eat a lot of things that have a lot of colouring in them. I don't like tea or coffee, I don't smoke. I very rarely drink fizzy sugary drinks with colours in them. I don't very often eat things with turmeric or, you know, very colourful spices in them. So in general, I'm quite boring. And because of that, it means that my veneer is likely to last a lot longer and not stain as quickly. So for me, the option I chose was composite bonding instead of porcelain veneers. I also think composite bonding is a good option for you if you aren't wanting a lot of work done, because it is something that can just be done fairly quickly and it can change your smile quite quickly for not a crazy amount of money. The procedure. The first thing my dentist recommended was whitening, and I went along and did this. So I had to go to the dentist and get trays made for my top and bottom teeth, and then they gave me some bleach and I went home and I did this at home. I've done 5 sessions of the tooth whitening, and you might be able to tell from how I'm speaking that I'm not speaking properly, and it's because my bottom front teeth really hurt. Here you can see on this bottom one, the bottom half looks like it's sort of over whitened, whereas the top half doesn't. These still seem quite yellowy. The bottom ones, especially like down here near the gums, they don't seem very white to me. I am only on day 5 out of 9. This is whitening day 6 or 7. Sunburn. I was wearing SPF. Should have replied it. Already feeling annoyed about the pain I'm probably going to feel tomorrow. At first I was really excited. It was kind of okay. It was bearable. Then you get to the middle point and you're like, yeah, this is uncomfortable and it hurts. That would be one piece of advice, is if you know that you're going to have days that you are out and about, maybe try not to do it then. If you've got days where you know you've got something fun on that you want to enjoy, skip a day, it doesn't matter. I actually did that last week. I had an exam
a stage combat exam and I didn't want to be worrying about my teeth in my exam, so I skipped 3 days, and then this week I've gone back to every other day, and I tried doing one day after another, and that was awful. It really hurt. If you can leave 2 days in between, it makes a big difference. It's the day after the clip you just watched. The sunburn is really shining. Teeth wise, I just brushed my teeth and they're a bit sensitive, they're not too bad. The morning after will tend to sort of turn my toothbrush off because I have an electric toothbrush. You can see I'm talking a bit funny now. So I'll turn it off on any teeth that feel a bit sensitive, like these bottom ones here on the top. Oh, it's making my skin crawl. And then up here today is feeling a bit sensitive. Let's have a look at the whiteness and see how it's doing. Before I felt like I had a big line across this one. I feel like that's maybe there a little bit, but I feel like it's mostly gone. And I feel like my teeth were quite white before, not like bleach white, but I think they were, you know, they weren't yellow. These ones definitely needed lightening, but I feel like they're a bit whiter than before. Still got a couple of sessions left on the whitening. I'm going to keep doing it until my next appointment, and then after that I'll have 2 weeks before the bonding goes on, because you have to let your teeth rehydrate themselves, because apparently bleaching them dehydrates them, which is an interesting fact.
This bleaching meant that my teeth got to the whitest natural stage that they could get to, which is called a B1, and that's the shade of my composite as well. I did have some uneven bleaching, but apparently that's quite common, and a lot of the time that happens if you've just got different densities of enamel on your teeth, which is just a natural, like, genetic thing. Some people have thicker enamel in some places than in others, and it just means that the bleach lightens some more than others. But that's definitely settled down over time. And I do think my teeth have got a little bit less bright since I did the whitening, but I still like them, and I still think the composite fits really well with my teeth. After that I went back to the dentist and we did a mock-up. So what he did was he got some bonding and he put it on my tooth and he shaped it, and we spoke about the shapes and size and what would fit for me. And initially he did the proper shape that most people would want, sort of the round top with a flat bottom. And because the rest of my teeth are natural and I don't have naturally flat teeth along the bottom, it just looked weird. He explained that that's the kind of shape that they are trained to do, and that's like the best veneer shape. But he also totally understood that I was like, just looks weird next to my teeth. So what we chose to do was to mirror the tooth on the opposite side. It's not an identical match because this tooth has a slight gap in it, whereas this one is definitely filling all the way between the two teeth. But from the front, it is very similar. So after that, he sent me away with the bonding on my tooth still. I could take it off, it wasn't stuck on, but he encouraged me to go and talk to my friends, my family, you know, take some pictures, look in the mirror, get an idea of what it might be like to have this tooth. That was really valuable for me because I felt like it gave me a real opportunity to understand what it would look like. It's one thing sitting in a dentist chair and being like, yeah, it looks great, but it's seeing it on yourself in your real life is when you sort of realise whether it's right for you or not.
I have the mock-up tooth on my tooth. So it's this one here. And that's the tooth underneath. Also, while we were looking at the shape and size and things, I had to do grinding, like side to side. My teeth don't move a huge amount. I think the way that my teeth close together is quite, they just close, there's not a lot of wiggle room. Like, in order to make them go past the other tooth, like fully across, I have to open my mouth in order to let the tooth cross, like they just sort of lock. They had to make sure that this wasn't going to bash the tooth when I grind.
Then I went in to have it done and it was absolutely painless. There were some uncomfortable moments which were just in general, it's just not very nice having people like in your mouth and poking around with tools and things, but there was no like shaving or cutting or anything like that. Didn't hurt at all. Other bits were the polishing. Didn't particularly like the polishing, but I think that's just because I don't like the like, it's just, I think, not very comfortable. After that, it was all done, and then I went home and I sort of looked at it in mirrors, took some pictures, And I noticed that from the front, it was kind of flat, like it wasn't round like a normal tooth, and it almost had like a bit of a caving in. And I was like, I don't like that. So I called him up straight away and I was like, I've noticed that, you know, it's not round like a normal tooth. It's just, it feels kind of flat on the front and almost concaved. And he was like, okay, no worries, come straight back in. I think I even went in that day and he fixed it straight away. And now it's nice and round like a normal tooth, and it's round this way, and it has the nice bottom on it as well. Straight afterwards, it did feel a bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. It's like you've got something stuck on your tooth and you're like, what is this in my mouth? I'd say for me it took maybe a week for it to feel more normal, and now it feels completely normal. I don't really realise it's there at all. Something else that happened was the neighbouring tooth felt really rough just near to the tooth that had been done, and I was really worried that the enamel of that tooth had been accidentally scratched off during polishing, and yeah, I was really worried about that. So again, I called him and I was like, I'm a bit worried about this tooth, it feels a bit rough, I'm not sure if it's been accidentally chipped or something like that during the process. Again, he was like, come on in, I'll have a look. And he took one look at it and he went, oh, it's just a bit of glue, and he scratched it off and it's gone. And it's absolutely fine. So with that, I would recommend that you make sure you go with a dentist that you are comfortable talking to and giving your opinions and thoughts to, especially if you're someone that would feel uncomfortable sort of putting your hand up and being like, I don't like what you've done there, can we change it? Because that can be a really hard thing to do. It's like when you go to the hairdressers and they do your hair horribly and you just sit there and you go, I love it. Like, you don't want to be in that position, especially when it's something you're spending a lot of money on and it's on your tooth. Like, once it's on, it's harder to change. So make sure you have a good relationship with your dentist and that they do allow you to have your opinion heard. And also, if you do have any concerns, just call them up and say, this feels wrong, or it doesn't look right, or whatever, and hopefully they should fix it. Cost-wise, I can't quite remember, and I should have kept track of it, but I didn't. I think it was around £700 to have the trays done for the whitening, and also having the bonding actually put on my teeth. And so when you compare that to porcelain, it is a lot cheaper, and I didn't actually have to do the whitening. That was something that added a couple of hundred in there. So if you weren't going to do the whitening, it is a massively cheaper option compared to porcelain. Overall, I'm really happy I did it. I really like it. I'm really glad that my dentist was so approachable and worked with me to make sure that we got something that I was really happy with. Yeah, I just really like them. I really like that I've got like a full smile now. I don't have a little gap in it. As I say, I didn't have a huge problem with my teeth before. I mean, I'm very lucky. I haven't had to have a huge amount of dentistry work done. I've got the odd filling here and there, but in general, my teeth have been fairly straight and mostly white my whole life. But I don't have, you know, naturally stunning Hollywood smile like my partner. His teeth are amazing. They're like perfect teeth shaped, just a flat line. He has had braces, I haven't, but his teeth, like the shape of them, lovely. Mine are a bit more higgledy-piggledy, and I'm totally fine with that. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it was helpful. If you do have any questions or any tips, or if you're a dentist and you know way more than I do, please comment in the comments below, because, you know, it'd be really helpful to lots of people, I'm sure, if you've got some wisdom to share. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. I'd really love to have you here on my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.